Hey all, welcome to another live stream. Let's chat Aqua. Today I have my guest host here with me, JH Aquatics. Say hello, dude.
What's up? How you doing, man?
So let's get a sound check. Let me know if you are hearing him correctly because last time we had a guest host on, we couldn't hear him at first. I couldn't figure out why. It just suddenly started happening. So hopefully you guys are in the chat there letting us know. Shout out to Bald and Dangerous who's there already. Pet Satanic. I'm gonna get his name right someday. Pet
Yeah, I'm
Satanic.
trying to pronounce that.
Petsantic or Petsotic. Pexotic. I think it's like
Exotics.
exotic. So it's Petsotic, you think?
Exotics.
Yeah. Maybe Petsotics. Ryan Niemer is in the house. Hello, Ryan and Ken. Let's go and let people trickle in here before we start the live show. Um, but anyway, so yeah, like I said, we have Joseph here from JH Aquatics, and we're gonna get into more about his channel, and then we're gonna get into the main topic. But again, we're just gonna wait for people to trickle in here. We got 16 people watching. I think we're good to go. What do you say? What do you say, Joseph?
Yeah, I'm
All
ready to
right.
go. 16 people. Awesome.
Well, let's drop the cutscene. We will be right back. All right, guys, welcome back. And right now, we're going to go into the segment of Know Your Host, or Know Your Guest Host, because you guys already know who I am. But who is Joseph from JH Aquatics? So, Joseph, why don't you let us know more about your channel? What is it about?
About my channel, well, very much so adventure, knowledge, and more. To be completely honest, I love fish keeping adventures. I love sharing the knowledge that I've learned over the years of my experience fish keeping and learning from my peers as well. And everything else in between there. My hashtag FishFamNews. Most people know me for my hashtag FishFamNews. But whenever I get a chance to get out in nature and jump in a creek or in a river or gut and find some local aquatic creatures or fish, that's what I'm looking to do. So I hope to share a lot of that with you guys.
Nice. And sorry about that, guys. I was moving the camera around so that I could see Joseph better behind my mic, but then I realized if I move the camera around, it'll show the underneath my wallpaper, and all you see is Anna Kendrick on my wallpaper. So
I was gonna say, is that your girlfriend?
no. That's Anna Kendrick. I wish she was
I
my
know.
girlfriend. Let's just say I wish. But anyways, so now you live on an island, is that correct?
Yeah, the territory of the United States, U.S. Virgin Islands.
Nice. And I guess you guys the whole thing about the hurricane, everything, you made it out okay and everything, huh?
Yeah, it was rough, but it's one of the things, humans adapt. So it was definitely rough, but you figure out how to get through it.
Yeah.
Some people had to take off, but there's a lot of work to be done here, and definitely, I couldn't see myself going anywhere. It's just like from the next day, it was digging in and getting things cleaned up. But yeah, we're back to pretty pretty good condition. Power goes in and out, and other stuff like that. But we kind of have always had to deal with that. So
Yeah.
I'm worried about Puerto Rico right now. Puerto Rico is in a poor shape. It seems like they're in a full blackout right now.
Yikes.
They were a lot worse off than us. Their power their company was a lot worse off in the beginning before the storm. So I'm worried about them. They're all living candlelight and propane stovetops.
Yeah.
So
That does not sound
hopefully
good.
they get that figured out there.
Wow. Now, now how does island life affect your whole hobby of fish keeping? Because obviously you have access to different types of wildlife and stuff like that that we don't have in the mainland here, right?
Yeah, well, now I don't pull too much from nature. I mean, I'm starting to now because honestly, people in the hobby have been asking me for certain things that I have here, but I'm trying to do it legally and go through uh, the proper ways to get it and stuff like that. But it's a good question that you asked. That it's kind of opposite for me. Like right now tonight, I'm having a problem with my window AC unit in my room here with the fish, and it's the complete opposite from everyone else. I'm trying to cool my tanks down. I'm trying to make sure that they stay under 83, 84 degrees or whatnot. And whereas everyone else has got heaters in their tanks.
Yeah.
So it is backwards for me. You know, I sit around and think of homemade DIY chiller designs and and ways to just do it all outdoors. But that's another beautiful thing is I can do a lot outdoors like year round. I have tubs outside my back porch right now with guppies in 25-gallon tubs, and just year round. I never have to worry about it. It's almost like the fish are better off outside because the temperature's more consistent. You just have to worry about the birds. The birds, that's your biggest one, is the birds, and the lizards falling in your water. Lizards, there's a lot of tropical lizards that could fall in your tanks and then foul the water.
Do they not usually just like climb out?
No, they can drown I've had it happen a few times.
Ew.
Lizards will, they can't get out if it's too much algae or things that can get stuck in there long enough to drown.
No,
if you don't catch it, if you're not looking at it and stuff every single day, you might have lizards. But those are just the odd, the island stuff that most people don't have to deal with.
That's true. Zombie lizards, right?
Right, zombie lizards are. It's also nice to get mosquito larvae. Like year round, I could pretty much just leave some water outside, and I stopped doing that because I was worried about parasites.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's like if you're gonna do mosquito larvae, you might as well do them indoors, and it's almost like it's baby brine shrimp is still a way to go.
Yeah.
Can't beat baby brine shrimp.
Yeah, because you know it's from a good source. So.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah. So how did you get started in the hobby? Because obviously, you know, I watch videos I'm seeing behind you. You got tons of tanks. So obviously you are a victim of MTS. But how did this all get started for you?
From my childhood, I grew up in the pet trade. My parents had a business importing exotic animals from Mexico, mostly iguanas and exotic birds. And they used to bring them up the coast and bring them up the United States from the coast of the United States from Mexico, the Mexican border. But it was tricky stuff collecting them, and it was really interesting to go through that as a child. And my father was also into fish. He still has about 5 saltwater tanks right now. And so I blame it on my father because he had the disease. He had the syndrome before me, and he passed it on to me. I remember as a child having like just walls of fish tanks in the living room, like it looks right here. And I remember seeing just one tank with just brine shrimp. Like, well, he literally had 2. He had, different sizes. There were like 2 different, like the baby brine shrimp, and then he would have another tank where he let them grow out. I remember as a kid just watching the adult brine shrimp. He would keep a tank of like a colony of fully grown brine shrimp, and I just remember that stuff as a kid. And of course, that's exactly where it came from. I kind of I've always had tanks, at least one.
He kept brine shrimp as like a pet, as like
No, you would breed them and then collect the babies from there and put them into the other tank, or just feed them directly. You would basically create a colony that was self-sustaining.
Oh, that makes sense.
And you've got adult brine shrimp that are making babies now, and you just collect the babies and try to keep just like you would do. Caridina shrimp, if you were selling them or something, you would take a whole bunch of them and keep a little culture for yourself, and then it would blow back up again.
Okay, I'm just used to the way we do here, where we just put in a bottle and bubble it and heat it up and hatch them.
From eggs. Yeah, well, you can even do it there too. I mean, I've done it here where I've left a container with a little air stone in it and just let them completely grow up and continue to feed them spirulina so that they grow up all the way, and then they'll actually start making babies. You'll start seeing babies in the tank, and once it gets thick enough, you can start just netting them, diluting, taking some out, a whole bunch of them out, and leave like 10% and just let it explode again. But that's not something that you could like self-sustain them over there. Like, you're not going to be able to feed like 20, 30 fish tanks that way.
Yeah, right.
It still comes back to just dropping the eggs. I don't know if you've ever seen the red brine shrimp. We're getting off a tangent here on brine shrimp eggs, but the magnetic brine shrimp eggs. I know there's a name for them, but they actually have like a magnetic coating on the outside of them. So after they hatch, you can pour them across magnets, and the shells get stuck to the magnet. Those are pretty cool. I don't know if that's any more efficient.
Oh, that's trippy. That is really cool. That is weird.
Yeah, it's a copyrighted Artemia. It's a copyrighted thing they've got going on there. They're like twice as much almost. But you don't have to worry about the shells.
That is crazy.
They just stick to the magnet.
Well, what other things do you like to do other than doing the aquarium stuff? What do you have any other hobbies or just the aquarium stuff?
They're hanging on the ceiling. I don't know if you can see them. Oh, you can't see them behind me, but above my TV, I have a few drones hanging from the ceiling. I have a 650 millimeter wingspan drone. I have a 250, and then I also have a Phantom.
Oh wow!
I like to play with drones, but I've never really haven't done anything on YouTube with the footage really. I mean,
well, you got all these drones. That's what I said. I was like, I don't remember seeing any drones in any of your videos. Yeah,
I have a little 250 racing drone.
Oh, that's cool.
I can't really fly. I mean, I could fly. I'll be honest. I can't race it though. I'm not that good.
Oh.
I'm trying when I get time. But these days, YouTube is taking up so much time. They're collecting dust hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a grind for sure. So, is there anything else you want people to know about you? I mean, that you would like to. I mean, that you might have that you could surprise people with that don't know much about.
Honestly, the only real big thing that's coming up, besides the fact that I'm trying to book as much trips as I can and travel and get to see some of these environments and South American stuff before they're completely gone.
Yeah.
These habitats are destroyed. My adventures, the adventures are definitely a big thing for me. But one thing that I'm working on is a website. Blackwater and brackish water tanks, which we're going to talk about today, are two of my favorite biotopes when it comes to aquariums. And truthfully, because they're really challenging.
Yeah.
Because you don't have all the same options that you would have in just a Dutch style aquascape. You just buy a bunch of plants online and get a piece of Malaysian driftwood and a couple of rocks and some stratum. Bam, and there you are.
Oh, well, it's a little more complicated than that, but yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Well, yeah, true. But I mean, you could pretty much walk into a fish store and just buy everything you need to do anything like that. But you're not going to be able to walk into the fish store probably and acquire everything that you're going to need to do a brackish water tank right off the bat. Plus, I don't know. I just feel like, I mean, you probably could if you know what you're looking for. But
yeah.
But I just find them a little bit more challenging because you can't lean on the plants to make it look beautiful. You kind of have to look a little deeper, and I feel like I just think it's beautiful to me. The tannins in a blackwater aquarium, I think, is just beautiful. So those are big things for me. And so, I'm sorry, what I was getting at is this, on the website that I'm working on is going to be a list of dried botanicals, different things that are good for shrimp, good for increasing the tannins in aquariums, but also antibacterial properties like West Indian bay leaf, and different things like that. The stuff that I find here locally, but also stuff from South America as well. So I just looking forward to doing stuff with that. It's guess, I don't know. There's only one other person I know of online that's actually got anything of quality in that respect. And I have a lot of friends that are asking for things like almond leaves and bay leaf and mango leaf and guava leaf, and everybody wants this stuff, and it's like right outside my door. So I'm trying to create some ways that I can curate it and collect it and get it on a website for you guys.
Oh, hey, that'll be a good idea. That's definitely, because everyone wants that stuff for sure. We're going to go ahead and go on to the next segment, which is our feature talking about the brackish tanks and blackwater tanks. And just to let you know, Philly Man Pete says, "Are we live with Bradley Cooper?" Because you do kind of look like Bradley Cooper in a way.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that it's not the first time that I've heard that, but we'll just skip that one.
Okay, all right, here we go. We're dropping it.
I'll say thank you. I'll say thank you.
There you go.
I guess we'll call that a compliment.
Okay, we're gonna drop the.
I'll take it as a compliment.
All right, guys. So we are going to talk about a future topic, and go ahead. You said something before I cut you off, there, Joseph.
Oh no, I was just gonna say hey to Susan. I see her in the chat there as well. It's good
Nice.
to see her there.
Yeah, and you know, quick shout out to Susan, Patricia, Philly, Neil, Ken, Petsonic again. Oh, Petsotics. I think I'm getting it. Petsotics. I think.
I have to say it's nice to be. I'm glad I can see the chat here because a lot of your subscribers and viewers, these are people I don't know a lot of these names, so it's nice to see.
Well, that's good. So that's why, you know,
Yeah,
guys,
it's
if
nice
you're
to
not
see some
following
new names.
JH right now, go ahead and check out his channel. Link is down in the description below. And hello, Congo. Good to see you with us. Again, this is about the feature topic. So the feature topic, again, today is blackwater tanks and brackish tanks. So why don't you tell us the difference between the two, JH?
Yeah, the difference between the two. Yeah, that's the whole reason why I really want to do this in the end is just is because I feel like a lot of people, when I mention them, people are like, they think they're the same thing. And I know a lot of people out here probably know the difference, but I just think it's important that that we make sure people know that brackish water tanks and blackwater tanks are definitely different. I guess the first one would be we go over brackish water tanks and brackish water biotopes, you know, in nature. Brackish water, as most of you probably know, is water that is right in, you know, somewhere in the middle of being fresh water and salt water. It has a specific gravity of about 1.05 to about 1.005 to 1.010, or I even take my tank almost up to 15.015, my brackish water tank with my eel in it, because I know he can handle that. But that's usually where where it's at. And this water is usually created from the mixing of fresh water in marine salt water, usually in estuaries and places like that, or even you know, tide pools, or even situations where we have created water like that for either farming of prawns or even just irrigation. But in the end, I think that there's a lot of things that you could put in a tank. Like when people think of a brackish water tank, they think that all that they're going to be able to put in there is mangrove. You know, that's all that people say, but I've managed to make a lot of different things survive when it comes to plants in a brackish water tank. So
you got any
you can
examples?
definitely do Bacopa moneri, I think that's how you pronounce it, Bacopa. I've managed to make Amazon sword has even survived.
Wow, really?
The thing is, yeah, but you can't just take it there. And it can only go so far. Like I wouldn't take it as far as I want to take my salinity,
Right.
but you could probably do 1.005 or get close to 10, and sword will make it. But you gotta put it in the tank before you get it to that salinity, just like the fish. You want it slowly. When you're doing brackish water with your fish, you want to take them there. You want to start with a freshwater tank and slowly increase the salinity.
So you have to start off the bat with them, right?
Right, or you could shock and kill a fish. I mean, like I have an eel; they're pretty resilient. You could probably take it, but you're stressing them out. I wouldn't recommend that with anything else. I wouldn't recommend that with anything. Really, you're not going to go on a shock the fish like that. But plants definitely, they'll melt right away. But I've had Java moss, Java fern, Bacopa, Thalassonaria, Sagittaria. They can all survive in a brackish water environment. Now you start getting it up to full salt water, marine salt, and they will definitely melt. Half of that stuff will melt.
Right.
But Java fern and Bacopa are definitely really resilient. They're probably on the top most resilient.
What's the highest salinity you ever went with Bacopa?
Bacopa, I would 1.015.
Okay.
That's as far as I go with brackish. Period. I think marine salt is 1.026. That's full salt, like marine salt. Marine water would be that. So you don't really want to go there. My eel could take it, but nothing else could. But I guess what I just try to preach to people is that you know, and what my challenge is for myself is to create like a brackish water tank that truly looks beautiful. I'm in the process of taking a 55-gallon and I'm creating some new caves for my eel. And when I do that, I'm going to completely escape it. Everything, all the plants I lost in the hurricane, they all died due to lack of photosynthesis.
Yeah.
Well, just no lighting. I lost most of my plants. The fish survived because they're tropical fish and they could take the 83, 84 degrees. In the end, they could get through it. But the plants without light, I suffered the most. I lost pretty much all my plants.
Yeah.
Luckily, I had little cultures of a lot of them, though. I got lucky with little bits of cultures that I slowly got to bring back to life and spread them through the tanks again. So I'm blessed. You got to work with what you have. I think that's a really important thing in this hobby too. Is you can't, you know, we don't all have all that money to go buy all the most expensive things. So you got to DIY stuff, and you got to work with what you have and make the best of it. I think the key is just making sure you're taking care of the fish and that the fish aren't suffering.
True.
But in the end, there's definitely a lot of good stuff that you can put for plants, but also when it comes to fish, I think a lot of people, you know, there's like 3 different kinds of puffers that you can put in a brackish water aquarium. You've got the figure 8 puffer. I know there's 2 other puffers that live in brackish water. I'm trying to think, you've got gobies. Probably have 3 or 4 different kinds of gobies that can take brackish water.
Yeah.
You know, you're limited on that too. A lot of people say, I don't want to do a brackish water tank because it's like, what fish? What am I going to do? Have puffer fish in my tank? But I mean, I have an eel now, and he's pretty tame. As long as I feed him, he doesn't really go after any other fish. I'm lucky.
Now you can do mollies too, right? If I'm correct.
Mollies, yeah, and mollies, and believe it or not, guppies. If guppies are, you slowly acclimate them over time. Guppies can definitely take. They can take almost full salt water in some cases. Wow. But yeah, guppies can definitely take brackish water. Guppies and mollies, and even I've had platies. Actually, I have 2 platies up here right now. I wouldn't recommend that, but they can take it. They were in there. They were thrown in there as rescues, and I thought that my eel was going to eat them because he ate everything else at the time, and he never ate them. So they've been in there for a little while, but they've been taking. Right now, my tank is at 1.010 for the specific gravity. But yeah, I would not recommend keeping platies in there. It'll actually stunt their growth a little bit, especially the babies, the fry,
right.
The salinity can affect them. They were supposed to be food and more of like a dither thing or something, just enrichment for the eel.
Now Philly is screaming killifish, killifish.
Killifish? Yeah, for a brackish water aquarium. Killifish, whatever. I wrote some notes here. There's a couple of cichlids and even the black tilapia. Put a black tilapia in there. Tigerfish. Another fish that I really like is an Indian glassfish or Indian glassy fish. But I don't know. I think that's the most challenging. You know, blackwater it's a whole other story. We'll talk about that here in a second. But
okay.
You know, that level of salinity, it definitely affects the plants. But my goal is to just go really crazy with the coppa and go a little crazy with some balasinaria in the back. It's like as a background plant, and then just work with hardscape for the rest of it because it is, you know. But I don't know.
Well, Ken says
it's a nice challenge. That's how I look at it.
It is a good challenge, something different for the freshwater people too. Now Ken says that he considers there's 2 types of brackish: low brackish and high brackish. So what do you think about that?
I'd agree. I think it's really, there's a little bit of everything in between. You know, I mean, I'm sure that there's certain fish that when it comes to the fishes, there's certain ones that can take more than others. And I'm definitely not an expert about all this. This is just a passion of mine. This is just something that I challenge myself with, and I try to learn about it every day. You know, because it's a fun challenge. Being able to create something awesome with a little bit. You know, it's like got sticks and I got leaves and maybe, and not even rocks, you know. When it comes to like South America, there's not even a lot of like rocks are commodity in South America. The Amazon River is pretty much made up of a layer of like orangish yellow clay that you can see from outer space. It's so bright. But there's not really a lot of rocks. So, you know, the biotope really is going to be a bunch of broken twigs and sticks and stuff like that. I'm probably getting off subject because I'm thinking a little bit more of a blackwater aquarium. But I mean, they're both the same. I mean, when it comes to that part, when it comes to leaf litter, and when it comes to what you're going to find, it's going to be pretty limited. But I think there's ways to make it look really beautiful, and that's my challenge for the future. So I look forward to doing my eel tank, making a beautiful aquascape, brackish water aquascape there, and then I have my two Alton Angels over here, and another in a 55, and I plan on doing that in full blackwater.
Nice.
And that's gonna be nice because actually where I'm at, like my pH here is almost, well, it is pretty much 8.0 out of the tap, and with the temperature outdoors for the water, like temperature's gonna be more like 82, maybe even 83 sometimes. So like this is what comes out of the tap in my environment here is perfect if I wanted to play with like discus or you know, my angelfish and stuff like that. But when it comes down to blackwater aquariums or like a blackwater biotope, it's not going to have any salinity for the most part. It shouldn't have any salt in it. It's going to be usually the place you're going to find blackwater is going to be a small creek or a small little river that has a really heavy canopy. So you've got all of this vegetation, all this canopy over the top of it. And it's just constantly dropping leaves and sticks and stuff like that into this small creek. And there's not a lot of sunlight, barely any sunlight gets through those trees, even just shoots a couple of beams of light into the water. And that's what they're living in. The water's completely tea colored. You know, it's pretty clean. Right? We're talking about the TDS, the total solids, but the level of tannins in there, it's almost like coffee, you know. It
sounds like a jungle. Surprise.
Yeah, but to me, it's beautiful. Like to me, that's probably the most beautiful tank right now. And I think of just aquascape design stuff that I want to do is a beautiful blackwater tank where you have really heavy tannins and literally like have 3 or 4 like little LED spots that are under the hood. They're shooting like 3 or 4, maybe 5 off into some different directions of like beams of light. They're shooting through the water, and it looks like there's a couple of beams of light coming through the trees and hitting into the water. And it just, I don't know. To me, the more natural a tank looks, the more beautiful it is.
Yeah, I agree.
I do everything I can to stay away from plastic and anything, even anything in my tank.
Now, blackwater tanks are usually soft, acidic, right? So you're looking at stuff like angels and discus. We're talking about basically, you know, South American Amazon type of environment fish, right? Am I correct in saying that?
Right, and that's where I was getting at, where it's when I was talking about the Amazon River and the clay, the level of clay. I mean, those creeks and those riverbeds, they're pretty much just it's pinkish, yellowish clay, and then you've got just probably 6 or 8 inches, probably even more, of just decomposing leaf litter and plant matter and stuff like that. You know, and the combination of all that is softening that water up so much. And then, but I think a lot of people miss out on is all of the antibacterial properties of those leaves. That's why pretty much all of my tanks back here behind me have leaves in them. They all, right now, I just boiled a whole bunch of West Indian almond leaf and mango leaf, and I put those in there, as well as West Indian bay leaf. If anybody out there has ever bought API Pimifix, if you look on the back, it says, you know, active ingredients, pimenta oil. Pimenta, I can't think of the second. I can't think of the full name. But pimento oil, that is West Indian West Indian bay leaf, and that grows here like crazy in the wild. So I collect those leaves and I put those in my tank as well.
Now you're saying bacterial,
Antibacterial,
right?
and yeah.
How does that work? How does that?
Antifungal. I think the plant itself. I don't know everything about this, but as far as I know, there's the plant itself creates something on the surface of its leaf to be more of an antifungal and antibacterial property to protect the leaf itself. So once you have all those leaves in the water, they're actually doing that and treating the water column the same way that they would be protecting the surface, protecting themselves while the leaf is alive. Okay. But what I've been told is that it's really important for the leaves to be cured properly and naturally. Like when I collect my West Indian almond leaves, I collect them off the ground and they're almost crisp, they're pretty much crispy and they're nice and brown. I've noticed that if I put in a West Indian almond leaf in my tank that's not completely dried and cured, like you would like a tobacco leaf or something, the shrimp won't eat it. It'll sit in there. It'll sit in there for so long. It'll just sit in there until I pull it out pretty much. I thought it would be cool to put some like reddish yellow West Indian almond leaves. Like it would look cool and maybe the shrimp would like it. They won't touch it. Oh. They want those leaves dried and cured and all that goodness. But I think that's one of the biggest things about about blackwater tanks is you're actually creating a healthier biotope, a healthier water column when you're doing it. You're probably going to have a lot less problems with your fish.
Got it. Now, if you want to start, let's go back to Brackish. If you want to start a Brackish tank, how would one go about doing that?
I would definitely start. Well, I'll share some of my mistakes, which don't do the Wallstead method. Don't do a dirted tank if you're trying to do a Brackish water tank. You're just going to make more problems for yourself. I would recommend sticking with sand and maybe a little bit of substrate, stratum or something if you're going to be trying to grow plants. But I would definitely start out with a freshwater tank and slowly work your way up. Every time you do a water change, slowly increase the salinity. And I think what a lot of people forget too is that salt doesn't evaporate. So when your water is evaporating in your tank, a lot of times when you're dealing with a brackish water tank, because the salinity doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be right on. Estuaries, the salinity changes as the water comes, as the high tide, low tide. Right. Salinity is going to change anyway. So that's the cool thing about brackish water tanks is you're not tied down to all of these rules like you would in a full marine tank, a marine aquarium. It's not as fragile, and you can fluctuate the salinity. But I would definitely slowly take the salinity up. But I would get all the plants, and I would get the fish in there first.
Okay, and then so start fresh and then slowly go up.
But take the fish and the plants; they need to be in there
first
at the same time. I try to put that's pretty much it. I would even cycle cycle the tank as a freshwater tank first, even.
Oh, that
would probably save you some trouble.
Yeah.
I'm sure some stuff is going to die when you start hitting it with salt. Some of that bacteria is going to switch over to other organisms. Are going to fill the gap. But I would slowly just take your time with it, and it's the plants it's going to be stressed out the most.
Yeah, like everything else in this hobby, guys. Patience.
Yeah, and consistency.
Yeah, consistency, exactly.
Patience. A lot of people get all scared. Like I was telling somebody my live stream last week. I remember when I was young, like really young, like 15, and I was playing with my pH, and I had pH up and down, API pH up and down.
Yeah.
Right. It's pretty much like hydrochloric acid or something. I don't know what it is in there, but I remember sitting there trying to get the pH perfect. And what I'm not realizing at 15 years old, that I'm just shooting that TDS through the roof. I'm putting all kinds of crap in that water. I'm killing the fish by taking their pH up and down 1 degree, 1 point. back and forth because I'm trying to get it to 6.8 exactly or 7.2.
Yeah.
Because the book says that fish wants 7.2. And what I learned in the long haul is that I have certain fish that definitely would be better off at 6.8, but I can't, because of my tap water. I have some tanks, I can't really get them any lower than like 7.2, maybe 7.
Yeah.
But the fish will adapt. I mean, people have to realize that some fish can adapt. You might not be able to breed them properly, but they can adapt and live at a little bit higher, a little bit lower pH. But yeah, it was just remember when I was young, just trying to fight nature, thinking that chemicals in a bottle are going to do it, and patience and time, that's what does it.
You never fight nature. They'll always win.
No, you gotta go with it. You gotta go with the flow and just.
Now, any tips about setting up a blackwater tank? Other than just throw a bunch of leaves in your tank. No, don't do that. But you know what I mean.
Well, pretty much. That's pretty much where I'm at. That's what I'm going to do with this tank behind me. My plan with this tank behind me, because that's pretty much a good example, is right now it's a bare bottom tank with just 2 angelfish in it that I've spawned a few times. Yeah. They're a breeding pair. My plan is to do stratum on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
And then sand the rest of the way, some really nice fine sand. And then it's going to get so much leaf litter in there. And I'm going to put mango twigs. I'm going to put West Indian almond twigs. I'm going to put mangrove twigs or sticks in there. And it's going to be a little bit like all that stuff will actually it'll act as barriers and kind of make some separation between the angelfish too and the other ditherfish and stuff like that. It's going to look really nice. But I think that the blackwater tank is the easiest one because you're not trying to slowly raise salinity. The key is using the right plants. Some people in the States will use maple leaves and things like that, and that will work. But depending on the fish that you're trying to keep, you're probably going to be happier with plants that they know. Plus, you can kind of want an assortment. Like it's kind of unfortunate to see a lot of people in the States, they're stuck with just almond leaves. And I see a lot of my friends that are shrimp breeders, and they put like 2 almond leaves in a tank. And it's because like they had to buy 10 or 20 almond leaves for $6 or $8 off the Amazon. And it's really all they can afford is put like 1 or 2 in a tank at a time. And I'm sitting here putting 6 almond leaves in each of my tank a week.
Yeah, that's annoying. Dude, you got to figure it out because you can make some good bank. Seriously, dude.
Yeah, it's all about it's phytosanitary certificates in the USDA. But I call them in Puerto Rico, and they tell me, oh, everything's fine. Do whatever you want. It's all fine. It's okay.
Right, until they start knocking on your door.
So I'm going to go ahead and just start doing it and follow what laws I know I need to follow, with permits or paperwork. And when they stop me, they're going to have to give me a warning because they already gave me permission, basically.
You should get it in writing.
Yeah, exactly. I need that in writing, because investing my time and energy into a website and all that is.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else you want to cover?
Well, I just want to say hi to Jeremy. I see Jeremy in the chat. What's up, Jeremy? It's good to see him. He's an awesome guy. I met him in Chicago at the Aquatic Experience.
Nice. Are you going this year?
Yeah, I hope so. I just realized it's like right around the corner after Peru.
Ooh.
And I was about to dump a whole bunch of money into Peru, and so.
Ooh. Yeah.
I hope so. Fun. All I can do is just keep my head down and keep working. And do what I love. That's the beauty of this. Is YouTube's a beautiful thing. I mean, it's an opportunity for. It's a good opportunity to share things and to learn. And for me, it's a great opportunity to practice a lot of it.
Right.
Just my art. To me, filmmaking and playing around with all of it, it's just fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. I don't know what to say, but I've been enjoying this journey, and I'm glad I jumped into it 8 months ago. And I'm hooked, and I'm not going. I'm not going anywhere.
Right on. 8 months. Okay, I didn't know you were just in it not too long, huh?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this for a couple of years, and I've been on YouTube for years, and I've had a passion for a lot of people, for YouTube and the way the platform works. I've always wanted to have a YouTube channel.
Right on.
But I've always I waited a long time thinking I want everything to be right. And that's one thing I would tell anybody that's just trying to start out doing something like this. If they have the talent and the energy and the passion and they want to do it, definitely just do it.
Good.
I waited a long time thinking, oh, I need to have the right computer. I need to have the right this or that. And my first 6 videos, I did it on this. It's a cracked, broken iPad mini.
Hey, it works. You got to start somewhere,
My
right?
first 5 or 6 videos were filmed on this and edited on Hit Films 4 Express, free editing software. It's a labor of love. You're doing what you love.
For sure.
Make it work. If you love it and you want it to work, you're going to make it work.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's go into the next segment of Q&A,
Yeah.
and that way we can talk about, anything. Questions to JH here. So we'll be back in a moment. Okay, guys, welcome back, and this is Q&A time. So any questions you got about anything for JH or me, just go and ask it while we're just chattering around. So I think Alpha came in late, but I think he had some questions about... Oh, I forgot what his questions were. Sorry, Alpha. I totally forgot because I was listening to JH. But yeah, anyways, so you were talking about not giving up, and that's a good advice about YouTube, because YouTube, like, even though you enjoy, like I love the filming and all that stuff, but it is a grind. It is major grind and a pain in the butt usually sometimes. But
you have to want it. You have to enjoy it.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
If I didn't enjoy editing film and sitting down, and you got to have that feeling when you're in the middle of making a piece where you're like, yeah, this is nice. I'm happy with this. Or it's not, it's being an artist. If I'm making a piece and I'm like, I don't really like this. This is not like, it's almost like I'm ready to just like cut it, dump it, just delete it. It never happened. Let's go film something else, because it's art for me. And if I don't enjoy it, if I don't love it, I don't want to do it. But yeah, but the fact that, sitting in front of that computer and cutting up film and, doing transitions and all that, the fact that that's fun, that's it. It's not work for me. It's work, and it is a grind, but it's so much better that I love it.
No, I agree with you there. Oh no, my mic is doing that weird thing again. I don't know why it's doing that.
For a second, I think it's back, or it's got quiet. You're back. You sound fine to me.
It's so annoying, this mic. Oh, maybe it's much better. No, how's that?
It's good right now.
Oh yeah, but is it good for the guys in the chat? Is the question. Oh, I hate when it does this. Miro was doing this before, the last chat. So annoying. Maybe if I hold my thumb down here on this button here, it'll be okay.
It's consistent right now. It's been consistent for a minute here.
Okay. I think I just have to hold my finger in. By the way, shout out to everyone in the chat. Hello, Jenny. She just joined us. You are late, but it's okay. I forgive you.
Yeah, all that questions. I feel like even in my live stream, I ask people like questions, and people don't ever ask questions. I'm like, come on, please ask a question. But now Jenny Lee says, what kind of mic do I use? This is like the cheapest mic you can get. This is like the $27 microphone, the generic one off of Amazon that you get. I took my own stickers and covered up the logo. I don't know what it is, but it's that off-brand Amazon. It comes with the little, the power supply on the side.
But it works.
It's a mad hustle. Yeah, it's a mad hustle. I got to do.
Oh, yes.
Someday I can have a nicer one. I don't know if she's asking me because she likes it or because it sounds bad.
Maybe
I
because.
Too close to it.
Or it could be she just wanted to ask a question.
Oh, good.
You never know. That's so funny.
I get too close to this microphone.
But you know what is funny about live chat is that when you ask people, you know, it's question time. No one has anything. But then when you start talking about something else, they have tons of questions. I think that's how it starts. JH Aquatics, can I get a link? I think link to your YouTube channel.
What is it? Alpha Aquarium said, do you feel like it's more, much more than a hobby? Or, no, yeah. You know exactly. It's more than a hobby. I think it's for me. It's a passion for life science and for nature, and having the opportunity to have a piece of that in your home. You know, when you're sitting on the couch and you can look across the room and you can have some, you know, you can have a snowflake brackish water eel staring at you asking for a piece of raw meat. It's like, you know,
yeah,
it's kind of cool. It's definitely it's a labor of love. It's a lot of work, but that's what I was saying. I was talking to you earlier before we went live, and a big part of this whole thing, especially going to Chicago, I realized that a lot of us in here are adults, and a lot of these live streams are adults hanging out with other adults, but there are so, you know, the 75% or, you know, 50 to 75% of this hobby is still the youth. It's the next generation, and it's us creating this content and making sure that the stuff that we're talking about is right, because we've got young people in these chats that are, you know, trying to get advice from us, and make sure, you know, they're sitting at home with their first fish tank, and I don't know, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, it's so much more than a hobby. It's yeah. Yeah. Oh, so it's picking up. It's picking up. Heck, no, it's fine. Yeah, it's awesome. It's consistent. It's good. No, I'm being technical, but I'm just being a nerd. It's my well, that's my snowflake brackish water eel. I have my eel, and I've had mollies in there, and I have you know, I've had a couple other things. I even had some whatever. I can't really keep much in there with my eel right now because he's pretty aggressive. It's got to be a pretty fast fish to stay in there with him. So I'm still trying to figure out tank mates for him at this point. But my dream fish to have in a brackish water tank is obvious. It's going to be a figure-8 puffer. But it's one of the things. It's like I know what it deserves and what that fish deserves and needs, and I don't have the space for it. I don't have a 200-gallon sump and a 400-gallon tank to make me feel like I'm giving that fish ample room to, you know, have space and live and grow to be huge, to be a big fish. Because as far as I know, does it figure-8 puffers can get pretty big, or no? Am I wrong about that? As far as I know, they can get like 12, 16 inches or something, right?
Big. Hold on a second here. Stupid mic problems. Seriously, about to throw this computer out the window.
Because what is Corey has a Mabu.
A Mubu puffer, yeah.
Yeah, and that he's like 10 or 12 inches.
Yeah, true. Can you guys hear me now? Should be okay now. And then the volume goes. I don't know what's causing this. This is really annoying. This is
But a lot of the fishes I'm thinking of that would be good for. I'm thinking about blackwater tanks because we didn't talk about a lot of other fish. I mean, a lot of people think you've got Altum. I mean, you got angels, you've got discus and stuff like that. But there's all kinds of little nano fish like tetra, different kinds of tetra.
Yeah.
That will work. The grandma. You have hatchet fish.
Oh, I love hatchets.
I'm trying to think what else is there. Something. Sebrums.
Nice.
Sebrums. I don't know. You have a lot more options with blackwater. It's just you're still going to have that problem with the plants because the plants are going to have a lot of photosynthesis. So you're gonna have to go for plants that are nice low light plants.
Yeah.
If you want to get the tannins up, because I tried that before too, right? But if you lost a few plants that way trying to do a blackwater tank, and then
because it blocks out all the light.
Yeah, I mean, Java moss, Java fern. But I've had a really good experience with Amazon swords and crypts doing well in low light. Like they did great. 52 days without the light and without power here after the hurricanes, and my crypts and my Amazon swords were fine. They did no problem with the low light.
Huh. Well, Angelo, we already been through what good plants are for black water. Well, no plants are good for black water, I think. Almond leaves.
Blackwater? No, I would go for stuff that can take the low light, but Vallisneria, Amazon swords. But when I think of a blackwater tank, I think of maybe some tall grass, some like Vallisneria, or if I get it to survive on that low light, maybe some, like one of my favorites is Hygrophila angustifolia, just because it kind of looks like a grass when the leaves get growing long. It kind of looks like grass, but it's a stem plant. I enjoy that one.
Nice.
But yeah, it is kind of limited on the black water. But to me, that's the beauty of like we're gonna do an aquascape with sticks and leaves and make it look good.
Yeah.
Like that's a challenge to me. It's like just like cutting out all these other things. Like you can't have this, you can't have this, you can't have any of this. Now make it look good. Got it. I'm like, okay, all right, let's do this. So look forward to that. That's a challenge for myself, and I hope to go this year a couple of different tanks like that.
Well, you got it. Well, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm still fighting with my mic, so go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm also thinking about going forward with that kind of that idea, but in tubs outside as well. I'm looking at taking I have this 300-gallon tub, and I'm looking forward to just loading it up with selected botanicals. It'll be the almond leaves, mango leaf, and I'll put bay leaf in there. It's not a whole bunch, but a certain amount in there for antifungal and antibacterial, and just create a nice bed of leaves and let it start to break down, and throw a bunch of shrimp in there and let it go, and try to create like a really natural, like a grow out breeding tub or grow out tub that's black water. It's not something you're going to really be able to enjoy, but it'll work for creating the right environment for breeding certain fish or growing out the fry of certain fish. Right.
Gotcha. Okay, I think I fixed my sound problem too. Nice.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Cool.
What do we got? Questions? I'm looking for questions. What size aquarium would you suggest for a black water? Like a South American black water tank? I don't know. I feel like I want to say that at least 20 gallons, probably more, because to me, a black water tank is going to have sticks in it.
Wouldn't it be based on barriers? Wouldn't it be based on the fish you want to keep too?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, like if you got like a 10-gallon tank and you start filling it up with stuff, there's not gonna be a lot of room for your fish to swim around. It might be tight. I don't want to have some room, but yeah, it's all about fish. I wouldn't do anything less than 20 gallons anyways.
Gotcha.
I mean, an aquarium period, unless I'm breeding shrimp or endlers.
Right.
Or a quarantine tank.
Cool.
Right?
Yeah. All right, guys. Why don't we go into the next segment, because I wanted to try this really quick. Might as well, since JH is here anyways. But yeah, let's roll on to the next one. We'll be right back. And we're back. So before we go on to the trivia thing, and this is a new thing I was going to try, but first, before we do that, I believe JH has wants to answer a question.
Yeah, John Bear's Fish Room. He just said bay leaf. I just wanted to clarify. You know, it's not the Italian bay leaf, that tree, the Italian bay leaf that people would cook with that you're gonna find in the grocery store.
Right.
Two different kinds of bay leaf.
Well, I guess you could.
Indian bay leaf.
I guess you could if you decide to cook your aquarium, right?
Right. No. I've actually I looked into that. No, there's actually, most people know that bay leaf that you would cook with, you can't eat that leaf, and you don't want to consume it because it actually has some toxins in it that will upset your stomach and stuff like that. So you definitely probably don't want to put that in your tank anyways, because it does have some toxins in it, has stuff in it. But it's not even the right texture for shrimp. They won't eat it. They're not going to want it. Or it's not going to have the oils. It's not the right tree, period. So no, the bay leaf that you cook with is totally different than the West Indian bay leaf, or pimenta, which is the Latin name for it. Definitely two different things. Anyways, trivia. You got trivia?
Yeah, trivia. So this is how it's going to work. I'm going to ask a question, and the first person who answers it based on the chat, our chat that we're seeing there, and it's either spelled right or whatever, gets the answer correct, we'll get a point, basically. And we'll just start continuing to like build this list. I don't know what to do with the list yet, but we'll figure it out later. Right now, I'm just going to keep score. Maybe I'll write a bot that will keep score later on and stuff. But I figured this is something fun to do in the live chats. But before we go on, I think Jenny just live chat did a super chat, and she's asking a tech question, which probably you and I can help her with. What kind of mic do any of you guys use for DSLR? I really need to buy an expensive Rode Pro. That's $200. No, well, Jenny, I linked you something that I bought for $35. It worked great. But yeah, that will work great. The one that I linked you before. So I don't know if anyone else has any other suggestions.
Yeah, you don't have to get a Rode mic, and you don't have to do the Rode. The Rode Pro is like the new version, but you see, I don't have that. I have the original Rode mic.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be cheaper. It's about almost half the price, depending on what you buy it with. If you buy the kit, like with a boom and stuff like that. Anyways, yeah, you don't have to go there, but it depends on if you're trying to. Which one were you talking about? What did you find?
Shoot, I don't even know the brand. It's like off-brand, and it worked really good. Yeah, but I don't know the name of it. It's one of those off-brand, like made in China brands. But yeah, Rode is really good, but you don't need it. I mean, because I don't have a Rode. I mean, I do have a Rode mic, but it's that long. A Tascam.
Especially if you can do some post edit, if you can edit your audio a little bit, you can filter some of that later and clean it up later. You know.
Yeah, you don't have to get the Rode Pro. You could go lower, lower than that, Jenny. It could be a regular Rode. They work really well.
Thanks for the super chat, though. Super chats are awesome, aren't they?
Yeah, they are awesome. That's why I had to buy my host coffee and stuff. So
I got my first ones last week, and I was I didn't know what to think about it. I've been very humble about this and trying to do all this up with my own money, and it's really crazy to have people donate money to you, but I totally appreciate it. It's awesome stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Jenny.
Yeah, thank you, Jenny. Hopefully that answers the question. But so let's go on. Like again, trivia. Whoever gets the first one right, correct answer, I'll just note down your name. There's not that many questions, so if Joseph has some that'll come up, just let me know. But again, they're all mixed questions. They are not always aquariums, about aquariums. Okay. So first question, first person to answer this correctly, and then in this one. Spelling's it doesn't really count in this one, but when and where did the first public aquarium open? When and where? So pull up that Google, use your Google Fool and see if you could get that.
Isn't that cheating?
No, they could do it. I mean,
want to cheat.
I'm going to call it after
what it is.
20 seconds.
All right, I'm not gonna look, but I think I'm not gonna. I'm just trying to pull it out of my head because I think I know this.
Oh, really? You think you know it? That'd be interesting. Anyone in the chat? Call in now. When and where did the first public aquarium open? Now, there'll be easier questions. Trust me.
I couldn't say when, that's for sure. But I'm trying to think.
Angela says China. Maybe I should have started something easier. You know what I'm saying? Oh, now he means Australia. Dude, you gotta make it your mind, bro. China and Australia is two different things. Two different parts of the world. Right.
So it's not in the United States. That's the.
Yeah, it's not in the United States. Well, no one's gonna get this one. I started way too hard, but it was started in 1853 in Regent's Park in London, England.
In the zoo, the London Zoo.
Yeah, I think so. Is that where the London Zoo is?
It was the public aquarium was in the London Zoo in 1853.
Okay, look at all these people copying from Google and Wikipedia. I love this. All right, second question, guys. Second question. No one won that one, okay? Second question. When water evaporates in your tank, you replace when salt water evaporates from your tank, from a saltwater tank, you replace it with more salt water. True or false? That's easy. 50-50.
I already said this.
No, it's okay. Now we can see if
see if people are paying attention.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you guys got to know that there's delay, so I'm seeing your chats before you guys actually see my answer. On that last one, no one got it. Well, I think I should time it with what I'm seeing on the other screen here. That makes it annoying. What? No one really knows this next one? Okay, everyone's there. You go. False. Ken's got it first one. Ken Emig. I don't know if I pronounced the name right. Ken Emig. Because that's what's showing on the chat, right? Yeah. Cool.
I agree with Jeremy on the lav mic. I have a lav mic, and it works. You definitely gotta test it because those batteries. But
yeah.
Lav mic isn't bad. Like it's about placement. It's about how you place it.
Yeah, I use a lav mic all the time, which I think you guys noticed if you guys watch my videos. It's always there. Okay, you guys should all know this. If you don't know, then you have to leave my chat. Okay. Question: the nitrogen cycle is as follows. Name the 3 phases of the nitrogen cycle. The 3 components it breaks down and turns into. 3. Let's go. You guys got to know this.
The 3 main state. Well, okay.
Yeah, the 3 main. What is it? That's not nutrients, but the chemical that it breaks down and turns into.
I mean, I know this one.
Yeah,
you have to have it in order. It doesn't make any sense, but you gotta understand it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you still have to do it in order, though. Oh, you have to do it in order. Stupid question. I didn't write this down right. Ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate. Chris got it.
Everybody did it backwards.
No, they didn't do backwards, did they?
Oh, I guess it's not backwards. No, I'm thinking of it. Okay, right. It's not backwards. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, yeah, John and Jenny, that I was reading the chat, so I announced it like the first question no one answered before you guys answered it. Took too long. I gotta count this out. That's what I need to do, you know? But then if I count it, it's gonna be a delayed count. So by the time I finish counting, you guys are starting to answer. So no one's gonna get in the first place. I don't know. Does that make sense? Did I just go Inception on all you guys? Okay, next question. And this one you guys should know because JH talked about it. What really are sea monkeys?
Yeah, oh, that was awesome when I was a kid.
Oh, he just gave you guys a hint.
Do they still sell those? They still sell them.
I think they do. I mean, if you look in those magazines and stuff.
I mean, they're on Amazon. I know you can buy them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they're still in the magazines, too.
What really are sea monkeys? Come on, guys. Wow, how much of a delay is YouTube doing it right now?
I don't know, but the chat's not moving.
I think they're all thinking or, Google fooing everything. Oh!
John Baird.
Oh, do we give it to John or do we give Ken? Because I don't know what a rye-brine shrimp is. I don't know. They are that thing.
They are the thing.
They are that thing. There you go. That's my new thing. That's my new saying. Everyone asks me. They are that thing. They are that thing. So what do you think? I'll give it up to you, Joseph. Should we give it to John Bear or we pass it over to Ken?
Yeah, I think that was just a typo. I think he was really excited.
All right. Because he knows what the real prize is. A couple $1,000 in cash, but... Oh, no, by the way, no, that was a joke. I forgot, we're recording, so people might
you gotta be careful with that one, right?
No, you will not win a couple $1,000. You guys all got excited for nothing, huh? Okay, next question. Well, let's see. Let's go off of aquarium questions. What is the collective name for a group of lions?
I almost cussed there.
You almost cussed there? For a group of lions?
Yeah, because I'm like, it's in there somewhere. I gotta dig deep.
Oh, you actually don't know it. I thought you figured that one out. Come on.
No, I should know this. And now I know it's there. There's some space in it. I'm not gonna look it up because that's just like cheating. Because I know I should know this. There we go. Right. There
Pride. John got it again. Yo! You know why? Because John is still in school. You know, he's a kid, so all the stuff's still fresh in his mind, right? So he's beating us guys that are like way beyond that. Now, we learned this at his age. He was what was he? I forgot what age he was. Well, I don't know. I forgot how old you were, but he's still in grade school, basically. So he probably learned that yesterday. I don't know what his curriculum is, but no, he's got a one-up on us. All this information is still fresh in his mind. All right, going off of animals and aquariums, we're going to go nerd. All right, what city does the green arrow protect? What is the name of that city? Freaking Google. What? Jenny Lee's not fast enough? Freaking Google?
What city does the green arrow protect?
Yeah.
That's the question?
Yeah. What is his main city that he protects and lives in? You know, John Bear is probably a hacker that lives in, you know, in a room where he has like this bajillion speed internet going. Really? No one knows this? No one is a nerd out there? Star City, Angelo's got it. Nice.
No, I did not know that one.
Oh, you didn't know that one either, huh? Okay.
No. I've been on this rock in the Caribbean too long.
Let's see. Maybe I should something do. Do you guys maybe something really hard? How about a history question? See if we have any history buffs. How many Catherines did King Henry VIII marry?
It's like 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
8? What?
Jenny, you know what? People are beating you, Jenny, because you're copying and pasting. When people know the answer, they're just typing it really quick.
Yes, it was. Yes, I thought it was 7 actually.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to look this up because everyone's giving me all these answers that's different.
It's 6, but I thought it was 7. 6 wives.
6 wives, but which 6 but how many Catherines?
Oh, how many of them were Catherine?
Right, and Chris got it. 3 Catherines of his wives. Of all his wives, he married 3 Catherines. Jenny, that's cheating. You can't do that. You cannot ask the host who's asking these questions to go read. Give him a link and say, go read it. That's my answer. That's complete cheating there. Okay, this is an easy one. Here's an easy one, guys. Who painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel? You guys gotta know this.
That's the name of my fish over here.
Are you serious? You name your fish that? That's cool. That is cool. That is not a trick. Well, I don't know. Is it a trick question? Why do you say it's a trick question? Your hands are sweating? Is this really like that? Is this trivia thing giving you that much angst? I wish the timing was better on these chats. That way I could do like really good chat. There we go.
Funny. No, my Alton Angel.
Uh-huh.
The male Alton Angel. His name is Michelangelo.
Oh, nice. Oh, you were waiting for someone to say something so you could just say that, huh? Steel Fire got that one.
Yeah.
All right, we'll call it one more. Let's give it one. You got one on in the head of yours there, Joseph?
Which one? Oh, a question? No.
Yeah. All right. Then this one's going to be hard. All right? So, maybe it depends. It depends on who are actual literalists. Who is the pre-Civil War author of a short story about a beating heart beneath the floorboards? This is huge brownie points.
Huge brownie points.
This is huge brownie points. Because that would mean that you are in, I don't know, someone that understands and reads. Loves literature. Do I need us? Oh, okay. They're figuring it out. They're Googling it right now. You know what?
How about this? Approximately how many species of fish are there worldwide?
Oh, John, you actually got it. Did you guess on that, or did you look it up, or did you know that from the top of your head? Because it's kind of a riddle in between itself. Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah,
Beating Heart.
I wasn't gonna give that one.
Yeah.
Literary stuff. Nope, lost me.
You gotta know, man. John Beer came out like first place tonight. You guys are so slow. Why don't count yours? You got it. Why wouldn't you get it? You got it, bro. Jenny, well, you know what? Jenny's also on the phone, so that's another disadvantage. Because I don't think you can type as fast. Well, I don't know. You can type fast on the phone, right?
Let's see. What is the? Here's a good one.
Okay.
What is the fastest fish known to man?
Oh, good one. All right, one last one from Joseph.
I'm sorry. Oh yeah, no. What is the fastest fish known to man? You got it like. I give 4 choices. Is it swordfish, racing shark, maku shark, or sailfish?
Oh, you actually give him a multiple choice?
Yeah. Maybe it'll not be so hard.
See, I like making it hard. You got to make them work for it. You got to make their hands sweat.
Make their hands sweat.
Yeah.
There's got to be a prize, right? They gotta be.
Well, they'll get bragging rights because on the next live chat, they're going to have their name right there in lights saying King of TWB Trivia. They'll have their name in lights. And then maybe we'll have if I could figure this out, we'll have the finals and everything, and then they could like go for a shirt or something. I don't know. It's not huge, but I don't have sponsors to give me prize money to do things like this, right? So what was the answer? Did anyone get the answer yet?
Let's see who got it first. What is it? Cries Cromwell? How do you pronounce that?
Oh, really? The sailfish is the fastest?
Sailfish, yeah, is the fastest. I always make sure that I say this when I say facts like this. It's the fastest fish known to man. I always put that on the end, known to man, because we always act like we know everything, but we know what we know, but that's all we know.
That's true.
So, it's like we don't know how many species there are on the planet. We don't know everything. we know a lot, but you know.
Right now, what if we get visited?
Remain humble.
Yeah, what if we get visited by aliens? You know, there you go, right? What if they had faster fishes on their planet? I know, I totally went off the rails.
We got Sergeant Tank. Is it Sergeant Tank had a question? Where'd he go?
Oh, he retracted it.
He retracted it. What was the question? What's the question, Jeremy? I'm gonna get in trouble. It's 10:15 here, and my girlfriend is made her way to bed, so I gotta stop. I'm just yelling. I gotta be careful. I can't start again yelling across the house at 10:30 at night.
Yeah, but anyway, we should call this live show. I mean, it's been fun, but we are going over there. So, does anyone have any final questions for Joseph here before we go on?
What is this? How about a tough question? Factors influencing this.
I don't know that.
Influencing the student
surface tension. Oh.
Gases and water.
You know what? This is how I do it. Before I make a video about something I talk about, I Google just to make sure I understand what I'm talking about. You know. So even though I'm like, well, I know I have to do this, but I'm not entirely sure how to explain it or do it. Right.
Well, to answer Steelfire's question, I mean, my guess, probably the most important factor of influencing the solubility of gases in water would be temperature. The temperature of the water.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Probably pH. But we're talking about gases, so pH and the temperature.
Oh, whoa, that's okay. I don't know that one. Name a species of freshwater fish that is known to have split genders with pH fluctuations. Do you know that one?
You're saying that the pH affects the gender of the offspring?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's offsprings, but it just have known to split genders with pH fluctuations. Maybe? I don't know.
Freshwater fish.
Got me on that one. Huh.
This is an interesting one. I'm trying to figure that one out.
Are you trying to figure it out, or are you Googling it?
I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to Google it, yeah. I definitely do not know the answer to that one. I want to say guppies, because that just seems right, because guppies are they're just like that. Like, guppies and endlers just seem like that they would be the fish that would do that.
That would do that, yeah.
Am I right? I'm looking. I don't see it yet, but I have to say it's probably guppies because.
They're cribs.
Fish. It's like they're the hardest fish, but at the same time they're. What is it? Oh, cribbenses?
Yeah. That's interesting. I did not know that.
No, yeah, wow.
Right, you're stumped, huh?
No, well, it's not like a fish that I really keep up on, but no, that's interesting.
That is interesting. That is very cool.
But now that I look it up, I'm Googling it, I'm seeing that it does kind of happen with other fish too. It seems zebrafish and guppies, it can affect them in that way too a little bit.
Yeah. All right, anyone else has any other questions before we take off and say goodbye? I will see you next week for sure. Again, make sure. Yeah, this was fun. I'm glad you enjoyed it, because I was just like, oh no, hopefully I got everything right and everything. But yeah, so remember, Jay's Aquatics. If you know, check out his channel. Make sure you sub to his channel. He does really cool videos. He does the Fish Fam reviews and everything, so that he helps a lot of people out.
Trying to do the Fish Fam news now. I'm trying to go with it live.
Yeah.
I like the production value of creating something, but I really enjoyed my super chats. I'll be completely honest on Sunday, and you know, I put a lot of work into this, and it's like it's awesome to see something coming back too. Plus, I can get a little bit more engagement and hang out for like an hour or something and have fun with the people and actually talk to the people that watch my videos, not just give them something and wait for a comment in the comment section. So no, it's really awesome. So I think I'm gonna do the news live again. I'm gonna stick with that on Sundays, and then the rest of my time I'm just trying to go on adventures and get out in the guts and find some animals in the wild. That's
for sure, for sure. And show some love to my mods out there, because they also have channels themselves. So if any of them said something that might have interested you, check out the channel, sub if you haven't already. And yeah, and again, like and sub on this channel here. Love you guys, and thank you for joining us, Joseph. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's awesome. I had fun.
Okay, great. All right, I will see you guys next week.